Thursdays and the Fridays when the network programmer is doing his networking, get him to find other developers, get onto LinkedIn, get onto Facebook probably, and plumb the network, get in touch with developers. A lot of the time the developers will tell you this information if you buy them a drink, right? So find out that information. Risk, don't be scared of risk. Risk is what gets us out of bed in the morning. But okay, so yeah, and what sales could you expect? I mean, if you sit down in front of the Microsoft guys and tell them that it's going to sell 5 million on Xbla, then you're going to have to do some justification for that. Don't tell them about what the sales figures on other games were unless you know, because they know. Don't guess. Understand the platform's agenda, right? Understand the people in the meeting. What are they looking for? What are the big topics in their world at the moment? Kingdom for Keflings, decent, solid game, massively successful, out of proportion, arguably, to its design because it included avatars at the time when we cared about including avatars. If you include avatars on the day that we release avatars, we will put your game on the front page of everything that we have a front page for, and people will buy it in their droves, and they did, and it was massively successful. So that's good for them. And that is good old-fashioned sort of shoe leather relationship management, right? Also, if you can show, right, so also know yourself, know your capabilities, understand your credibility. How much have you done in the past? How much are you asking to do now? And just make sure that there isn't too much of a mismatch there. Okay, so in the 50 seconds that I have left, according to this special magic box here, 2 other ways that you can get your game onto Microsoft platforms. And apologies, 1,000 apologies for the dramatically poor presentation on this slide. So Windows Phone is coming out at the end of this year. Windows Phone 7 series, that is. Windows Phone, well, Windows Mobile as it used to be, had its challenges. Windows Phone 7 is a complete ground-up reboot. I must admit to being a leading cynic about whether this was going to work. I am no longer a cynic. Windows Phone 7 is a genuinely serious thing that we should care about. And again, the people in this room it's going to be part of your lives if you're working on mobile platforms. I certainly want it to be, and with forecasts of something like 200 million handsets in the next 4 years, it's something you should care about. Now, I've probably run out of time to go into too much detail about this, but there are, in fact, I've got it there, developer.windowsphone.com. There's software you can already download to start looking into how to develop code on that platform. The other channel is Xbox Live Indie Games. You're probably also aware of this. This used to be called Community Games or XNA Games, and is massively popular, particularly in academia. But don't forget that you can sell your games through XNA, through Indie Games Marketplace. And people do make money off this. You don't. I'm not sure of how many millionaires. There may well be actually, I don't know exactly the numbers. But we do know that there are people making serious money on this, particularly in regard to how much money it's costing to make them. So again, that's if you look at if you go to creators.xna.com, you can find out more about that. It's worth noting that XNA Game Studio 4.0, the new release of this software, is the environment in which you can create software for both of these devices. So they use a common language. They use XNA. They're using C# as a code base, and we're putting significant effort onto the possibility of titles that work across both of these platforms. And one very important point about Windows Phone: there will be a managed portfolio and an unmanaged portfolio. So the managed portfolio gets certain benefits, particularly access to Xbox Live and Friends and Achievements and other things, and not least significant placement on in the marketplace and spotlighted. But there will also be an unmanaged portfolio. You totally automated, go crazy, upload what you want, see how it does, just like you can do on App Store and other and Facebook and other marketplaces. So all the more details about that are there, and that's that. That's all. So I hope this given you a bit of a better idea about how you can talk to Microsoft about producing your games on our platforms. Okay.